Hello, this is Matt, one of your forum members. Today I thought I would demonstrate how to correctly make a Cornell drawer kit box. And I've just read on the forum that some of you don't like these kits, and I've made quite a few of these boxes and kind of figured out some tricks that make the boxes a little bit better. So what we're going to do today is just kind of talk about the kits in general. I'm going to show you a built box that I've already made, show you the hardware that the kits come with, then show you the tools, explain how we can get glass that fits these boxes, and then we're going to actually build a box, and it only takes 10 minutes to build a box if you are all set up and ready to go. So let's proceed. So as most of you probably know, Bioquip sells kits for Cornell and US Academy drawers. And when you buy them, I think they're about $158 for 6 drawers. You get all the stuff you need to make the drawers, but you got to do it yourself. The advantage to these is that they're so much more economical than buying the drawers pre-made. And with a little bit of thought, you can make these drawers almost as good as the ones that you just buy pre-built. Now, probably the biggest issue with building these drawers that people don't like is when they're building them, they get separation in the corners, and you get gaps. And I had that problem too when I first started making these drawers. A few of them, I still use them, but they're not built as well as they could have been if I would have known exactly what I was doing. So, okay, so the kit comes with several items that we're going to use. First of all, it comes with the instruction little booklet. Now we're going to follow this pretty well, but I'm going to make some changes to it, so I'm going to set it aside. You also get some sandpaper to finish the box once it's done. You get a couple bottles of glue. You get this Elmer's Glue All, which I do not use, but it's a good little gift for your kids. You can give them some glue. I do use this blue bottle of glue. It's all-purpose cement. This is what we're going to use to glue the box together. And it comes with this cute little bottle that I do not use at all. I guess you're supposed to put glue in it so that you can be more precise with the glue, but I don't use it, and I have a little collection of this stuff from all the kits I've made. Next, you'll have some hardware. You're going to use these drawer pullers, these little handles. They come with 6 of these. Comes with some nails, and of course it comes with these splines that we're going to use to help secure the box and hold it together. One of the important items that you'll need, and this is an ingenious little invention that they came up with here, is this strap that's going to strap the box together. So you'll need the strap, and then you'll also need the 4 corner pieces that come with it. So you won't need a whole lot of tools to make one of these drawers, but you're going to need a few things. To start with, you're going to need a hammer, a pair of pliers, a simple ruler or tape measure. Then you're going to need a flat-headed screwdriver, and then you'll need a little itty-bitty Phillips screwdriver. Also, I add my own wood glue, and I'll explain why here as we build the box. So one of the things that the kits don't come with, obviously, is the glass. They can't ship the glass from California to your house, so you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to buy glass. Now, let me give you a little tip here. I discovered that if you go to glass companies, they're going to charge you a lot for this glass. It's 15.5 inches by 18 inches. Those are the dimensions that you have to have it cut for a Cornell drawer. I believe it's 16 by 18 for a California drawer. But if you go to a glass company, they're going to charge you, I don't know, around $10 per sheet, which is expensive. You're talking 60 bucks alone for the glass. I discovered though that if I go to Lowe's, the major lumber store, Lowe's, they will cut the glass for free, and the panes are only around $5.80 a piece. So I've cut my glass expense in half by going to Lowe's instead of using a glass company. So these are Lowe's single pane 3/32 inch thick panes. Okay, so now we're ready to build the box. So the boxes all come with 4 sides, and so I'm going to take 2 side pieces, and I'm going to take 2 longer pieces, one for the front and one for the back. Now these are unique pieces, so they are stapled together. If you look, you can see they've got staples. That's the only purpose for my pliers. So what I've got to do is I've got to just take the staple out of the pieces of wood. Alright, so I'm going to do that with all 4 pieces here. Take these staples out. And it's important that I keep straight the 2 pieces that I just separated. Okay, so I'm going to take my 4 sides and keeping them together with the lid and the bottom, I'm just going to lay them out in the rough order that I'm going to glue them together. So I've got my sides, I've got my bottom here, and I've got my front here. Okay, so now I've got the box kind of laid out the way I'm going to glue it together. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to glue the lid together. So I'm going to glue these 4 pieces together using the blue all-purpose cement that came with the kit. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of this. We don't really need a ton. And what I do is I just smear some glue on each side and put it down. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other long piece. Alright, now the glass comes in next. So I'm going to get some glass and I'm going to put the glass in one of the long side slots. Alright, so kind of set that up. Then I'm going to take my side piece, put it on, kind of get it in the groove, get the glass in the groove, that is. I'm going to kind of set this, just get it in the groove. Now this is where we start falling apart. You get frustrated because it won't stay in and all that kind of jazz. Just lay it in. That's all you got to do. Just make sure that it's sort of in the glass is in the slot. Now I'm going to take my 4 plastic pieces and I'm going to put them on the edges. Okay. Now, next step, I'm going to glue the bottom together. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue and do the same thing. Just put a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there, and then I'm going to put it together. See, I can carefully just put the pieces right back in their order. Alright, then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this one. Same thing here. And put the box carefully together. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we have to strap it all together, and this strap is going to hold your box so that we can secure it with the splines. Now to do this, what I always start off with is by putting a little O-ring right at the edge of the wood, and then I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to strap around the box, making sure that there's no twists. And I want them all on those corner pieces. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is you're going to take this strap and you're going to insert it into this little slot on your wood. Now, when I do that, I can take this strap and I can pull the box together. I'm going to move it over here a little bit and see I can pull this box together. Now when I do this, I want to make sure that the glass is in its slot and that everything is being pressed up against each other. Now once I've done that, I can take our little wedge here. I'm going to take the wedge and I'm going to put it in the slot where this strapping is coming out of. Now, where you do it, kind of pull this strapping and then insert your wedge in. Now, we can do it backwards and you can get all kinds of mixed up. What you want to do, though, is you want to put the wedge in like so. This is really hard to do. Put the wedge in like this, and then take your strap and get it into the position like this. Now I'm going to pull this direction. I'm going to take my O-ring, I'm going to slip it out, and then I'm going to use this handle, and it's going to slide, but that's okay. The wedge and the strapping is going to slide until you meet the box. Alright, so now I've got the wedge up against the box with the strapping in the way. Now I'm going to pull on this. It pulls everything tight, and then you use the O-ring to secure your little handle. Now once I have this in place, my entire strap is going to be secure and holding. Okay, now that we have the strap on, I'm going to take and flip the box upright. I'm also going to take these straps and I'm going to make sure that I pull them all the way up to the top on all four corners. Then we'll be able to make our lid. Okay, so by doing this, the strap is now up and it's pulling the lid together a little bit better. Now I have to add these splines. So I'm going to add a spline to each of the corners. Now the spline has to be hammered in. And when I do this, I'm going to put the spline in the little slot, and then using my hand, I'm going to just kind of pull the corner together. Put the spline in. Got to do that with all four corners. Alright, so I'm going to kind of squeeze it together. Put the spline in. Rotate it around. Next spline. Kind of hold it together. Final corner. All right. Now I've got the lid together. I'm going to take my screwdriver now, and I'm going to just carefully push this plastic corner piece down on all four corners. Because now I'm going to make the bottom of the box. Push these all the way down. I'm going to take the strap, do the same thing. Push it all the way to the bottom. Push it all the way to the bottom. Okay. Now once I have this, I'm going to flip it over again. And I'm going to put my bottom on. Now the bottom comes with the kit. And up until now, our box may or may not be square. So by putting the bottom on, I'm going to square up the box. Now this is where I don't do what Bioquip suggests. I use my own wood glue. And so this is just high quality wood glue that you can buy at your hardware store. And I'm going to run a seam of wood glue along my little slot here for my lid. I don't use that Elmer's glue, and I don't use that all-purpose glue for this. I use this wood glue. It just seems to work better. Now, I'm going to square up my box by putting this in. Alright, like so. Okay, so now I got the lid on. I'm just going to wipe off any excess glue. Now, one thing I don't do is I do not nail this bottom on. Bioquip provides you with all these nails so that you can carefully nail. I don't like doing that for a couple reasons. First of all, it's time consuming. Second of all, the more you hammer this thing, the more likely you are to break your glass. So this wood glue is going to glue this bottom on, and it will never come off. So I don't use the little nails. Now, once I have the bottom on, I can put my splines in the bottom. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Notice how my strap is all the way up. The bottom is secured, so I'm going to put my spline in its slot. Same thing, I'm going to squeeze and just tap in the spline. Spin it around. Spline number 2, same thing. Get it in there. Next spline. Get it in the right position. Fourth spline. Okay, now we're making headway. Now I can flip the box back upright again, and I'm going to take the lid off. Now, the lid should just come right off. Okay, now with the lid off, I have to put the inside splines in. So again, seems kind of ridiculous, but I got to do it. I'm going to raise this all the way to the top again because I want to get it as sealed as possible. And I'm not going to take the strap off. I think a mistake is made if we take the strap off at this point. I've got to put the spline in. So you can see that we've got a slot for the spline, and you might say, well, how am I going to do this? I've got a trick. Okay, so I've got my little plastic corner piece, and I'm going to add this spline in. And you might say, well, I've got to take my strap off to do this. No, you don't, and you want to leave that strap on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the spline in. I'm going to give it one little whack. Then I'm going to take my old screwdriver, and I'm going to use my old screwdriver to tap it in. All right, let me show you the next one. So I've got this next one here. I'm going to put my spline in. Just gonna tap it, get my screwdriver. Now, you see my strap is holding it all secure, and I'm putting in my splines. All right, next spline, same story. I'm gonna just tap it in. And unfortunately, I got a little bit of separation there, but can't do anything about that. Okay. All right. Now, just make sure you get it in there. Okay, last I'm going to flip this back over because my bottom can start coming off. And I can unstrap it. So I'm going to unstrap this thing, take it off, strap out of here, take off my 4 opposite corner pieces. Now I'm going to need to leave this upside down for, I don't know, about 30 minutes just to let that glue dry. Put my lid and there we go. Okay, so once the bottom is glued in, now you can finish your box. You can take your sandpaper and sand it, and then if this is the time, if you want to put any lacquer on it, you want to lacquer it up. What I do is I kind of sand off any glue that I have. So I'm going to just give it a simple sand here. This can get some glue on here. Okay. So once I have it sanded, you can lacquer it. I probably should lacquer this, but I'm not going to. We're going to measure. This is about 19 inches, so half of 19. And I'm going to put a dot using my little screwdriver, my little Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to put a dot right at 9.5 inches. Kind of marks the center. Now I can take this hardware, match it up into the center, and screw it in. So you can see if you want to do any lacquering, you want to do that before you put this hardware on. This wood's soft enough, I can just easily screw this in with my little screwdriver. And voila, you've got your box. Alright. So that's how you make a Cornell box. So I hope you enjoyed this and it helped you make a little bit better Cornell drawer. Remember, you can buy these and make 6 drawers a little bit cheaper than buying a completely pre-made one. And if you do it right, you can make really good drawers. So thanks a lot and have a great day.